Hello guys, I'm so excited that I finally have just received my new book, which is Training, Nutrition, Supplementation in Bodybuilding. You can purchase this book on Amazon. In this book, you're going to find basics regarding how to eat, how to work out, and what supplements to use in bodybuilding, and along with my other book, which is already available, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, actually speaks about drug use, which is the improved version of my very first book, The PEDs Used in Sports. Somebody has the whole package of knowledge in order to fulfill his targets. Thank you so far for the positive feedback and the good comments, and I hope you do like it.
Click that out. Hey everybody, welcome to Ask Dr. Testosterone, starring Dr. George Tuliatis, and brought to you by his two books. First one, Bodybuilding, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. The newest one, Training, Nutrition, Supplementation in Bodybuilding. This way you know about training, nutrition, supplementation before you get into the drugs, I hope. Please welcome from Athens, Greece, Dr. George Tuliatis. Hey, George.
Hi, Ron.
I forgot to mention Amazon.com, everybody. Get them on Amazon.com. You can buy anything on Amazon. Man, Doc, whew, what a summer we're having. I think the first question I have for you this week is probably the best question we've had maybe for this entire series ever. It's fascinating to me. I want to hear your answer on this. I'm actually dying to hear what you say about this. This came to me via Instagram. Gentlemen want to remain anonymous. Here we go, guys. This is the best. I'm 35 and on a heavy cycle, 1.5 grams a week total, including Tren, Test, and Masteron. My wife, 34 years old, is starting to get acne on her back. Do AAS pass through semen and get absorbed by the vagina? She's getting the same sides as when she was on 20 milligrams of Anavar. I doubt that it's possible, but it's strange to have these sides after a few weeks of me starting my heavy cycle. We have sex 3 times a week. Good job, sir. And obviously don't use protection because she's on an IUD. I've often wondered this, doctor. Can steroids pass through a man's semen into
yes,
a
they
woman's
can actually also bodily fluids like sweat, exchanging bodily fluids. Yeah.
Well, see, I know, like, if you have androgel on your skin, obviously that's going to pass.
Yes. They can have this kind of side effect.
But for us regular juice heads who just inject our drugs into our bodies, if we ejaculate into a woman without protection.
No, listen, during my last preparation, 2013, when I was a master's, I was abusing massively, I mean, I've said that officially. I don't have any problem to reveal the truth.
Sure.
And I was the last few weeks before the show, I had no energy for sex. So I went to my girlfriend and said, I need a blowjob.
Okay.
I want to come because it's an instinct. I have to. And she told me afterwards, she swallowed my cum and she told me it's very bitter. And I guess it was because of the gear, but also from the ketogenic diet, because I was eating 500 grams protein per day and perhaps 150 of. It was very acidic, and also the smell of my skin was this kind of. Of course, you have the sebum, that it's DHT induced. You have also ammonia released from the high nitrogen balance,
Yeah.
Which is a toxic release from the kidneys, And when ammonia elevates, then you become blurry, and you're kind of foggy. And this is the hepatic coma, terminal stage of liver disease, but also gear. Yes, I've heard some ladies saying that this guy stinks and he used steroids. It's a special smell from the skin. But so my point is that it can be excreted from the skin slightly. When you rub one to another.
Yeah.
And you have this. You have sweat also. You have semen. Yes, I believe a small percentage and a small portion can be absorbed by women.
Yeah, I mean, she's getting acne on her back from her husband's semen. So sounds like a significant amount of steroids passing into her body if she's getting acne on her back.
Yeah. This is the hirsutism.
Yeah.
It's part of the virilization effect.
Okay. Well, it's all downhill from here, doctor. I mean, we
There's
already
some
talked
women
about this.
that say that when they expect a boy when they're pregnant,
Yeah.
they get a little bit of virilization and hirsutis because of the DHT from the boy,
Hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
that passes through the placenta, you know.
Hmm.
So
Wow.
they're more aggressive, the characteristics, when they expect a boy from the DHT of the fetus. That the DHT is responsible for the, you know, mature of the genitalia, you know, to the characteristics, secondary, yes.
So if you're, if you're concerned about passing on steroids to your girlfriend or wife, I guess you should wear a condom. Yeah, I guess.
Condom with a wife, come on.
Well, I mean, you don't want to pass your steroids on to her, then she's going to get virilization from it. Not every woman wants to be all buff and zitty and jacked. Anyway, next one, a health question. What is the best way to keep the kidneys healthy apart from drinking adequate amounts of water? Any good supplements to take for kidney health?
Well, kidney regulates blood pressure, so I think this is the main thing. Check out your blood pressure. And also, according to the urinary tract, you have to take care of the infection. So cranberry is responsible for the urothelium, which is a specified epithelium line within the ureters, that is capable to remove the attachment of any bacteria, if when you take cranberry.
Hmm. Yeah.
I give it to my grandmother, as a precaution for the infections of the urinary, but also chamomile. But this about the inflammations. But generally, the kidneys, they have to filtrate, so low sodium, low blood pressure, tons of water, and there's nothing such I heard once astragalus, which is a supplement for anti-aging, and supposedly astragalus is able to elongate the telomeres. The telomeres are the end of the chromosomes, and when the telomeres are longer, you live longer. So the telomeres are the part of the chromosomes where there's genetic material. Somebody told me that he elevated his GFR through astragalus, but generally it's about control your blood pressure and diurete, because anuria, the lack of pee, is a stage of renal failure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting, the cranberry juice, because a lot of I've always heard, like, women, especially if they're having some sort of UTI, urinary tract infection, they'll drink cranberry juice, and that always seems.
And also with chamomile, they wash the genitalia with chamomile because it's a localized, detergent.
Oh, chamomile. Okay, like the tea,
Yes.
stuff they put in the tea.
No, chamomile relaxes your tea. Green tea especially is a stimulant.
Okay, gotcha. GH. What is the ideal dose of GH to obtain important anti-catabolic effects in fat loss? Some people say just above 4 IU a day.
Yeah, up to 4, it's good. And I guess in the long term, the 4 IUs will give you some decent muscle. What I noticed the last time I used the GH was a couple of weeks ago. It was massive water retention. It was my arm, my thumbs here, my thumb and my fingers were like a pancake swollen,
Wow.
and my arm was about half an inch bigger. It was pure water retention. But the point is, what the heck? I mean, GH for water retention, this is how it works? I don't think so. But it's a fact that bodybuilders stop at least 1 week or 10 days before the show the GH because it retains water.
Yeah.
It gives you edema. So
Now I know.
combination
Yeah.
on GH and insulin makes you puffy, and steroids also.
Right. Yeah, it's weird because you think of GH as helping you get fat loss and leaner, but if you're puffy with water, you're not going to really look too lean because you're going to have that.
So I
water.
dropped about 2 kilograms when I stopped it, and it's pure water. You see, I don't mean it's. I don't want to say that GH is water, but it leads to water retention as well.
Yeah.
Makes you look bigger though.
That's why your arms were looking so big a couple weeks ago, huh?
Yeah.
I saw that flexing video. It looked like 21
Not
inch
that
arms.
tiny.
Yeah, right. Okay, I'm planning on competing next year, so I want to add some more size. You and the doctor mentioned a blast with test and deca. How long should a blast be? I want to add more tests. Oh, if I want to add more tests, how much more would you recommend? My diet is fine, blah, blah, blah. So he's probably on 200 milligrams of test a week, and he wants to go on a blast. What's a good moderate blast for him to do with test and deca?
I guess double this or half a gram, you know.
500
Sounds
tests.
reasonable. And the deca has to be half of it for the sex drive.
Okay.
You know, the ratio has to be 2 to 1.
So if you're doing 500 milligrams test, it'd be 250 deca?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, most guys
If you
do a
care
lot more
about the
deca
sex
than
drive,
me.
otherwise you can equal. You can use half a gram of deca as well, but you're gonna have deca dick.
Nobody wants deca dick. Okay, cool. Dr. T, what are your thoughts on using injectable L-carnitine for improving AR? First of all, what's AR?
I have no idea, but never heard of injectable L-carnitine. It doesn't work this way, I think.
He says
L-carnitine,
many.
I've heard it orally, liquid,
Yeah.
and sometimes transdermal. But I don't think it works this way.
I've heard of it like in clinical settings, but you know, where are you going to get
So
that?
you inject carnitine and you burn your fat? I don't think so.
He claims he used the liquid formula from Twin Lab, which I'm very sure that was not meant to be injected.
You drink it.
It seemed to help when prepping. Okay,
I
so
remember also ampoules of 1 gram of carnitine or 10 grams. And I used to swallow them before my cardio, but you don't inject this thing.
yeah, I mean, some people just want to inject everything. So, sir,
You know,
stick with the.
in order to inject, it has to be in a form of a solution. You know, saline, water for injection, and also it has to be pharmaceutically applied. You know, it's not just you inject anything you want. You know,
Don't go injecting your whey protein, guys. Bad idea. Bad idea. Okay. Next question is kind of long. I warned him, Alex Razorback. Too long, but just for you, this one
but
time.
I think he write it again down afterwards.
Oh, did he? I didn't even see it. If he did it like after 6 o'clock last night, I don't even look anymore because I'm busy with other stuff. All right, here's the long version. Can you please ask the doctor, clarify my confusion about multivitamin mineral absorption? A well-known bodybuilding personality with his own line of supplements said you shouldn't take magnesium with foods that are high in calcium, like whey, because magnesium inhibits the absorption of calcium. So what about all the calcium magnesium supplements? He also said you don't want calcium in your multivitamin because it inhibits the absorption of zinc, iron, and manganese. Furthermore, never take zinc with food, but all multivitamins have zinc because you won't absorb amino acids so well. I listen to this guy, I'm so confused. I mean, the best multis out there like Animal Pack and Anavite, my personal favorite, have zinc and magnesium and calcium together. With his logic, all multivitamins are a scam. I don't think he's right, but I really want your opinion. Is there any truth to his claims, or is he just trying to sell his stuff while telling half-truths?
Well, I guess he speaks about Dave, you know, the Species Nutrition.
Oh, I didn't. Honestly, I didn't. I want to make sure people know I didn't put that question there because it was anti-Dave. I had no idea he was talking about Dave. But go ahead.
Yeah, but actually, I have a client who I sent him to Dave because, you know, I want him to. I mean, I was tired of him, so Dave told him that Animal Pack is a scam. Now we know Animal Pack is a hardcore since 1984. I guess all the Olympians were using back then, Lee Haney era Animal Pack. It's a fact that some minerals cannot absorb others. Like, for instance, if you have too much calcium, like if you drink milk, you malabsorb iron. That's why my sister, whose pediatrician says, do not give iron to children when they have already drunk milk, you know, because it leads to malabsorption. This is true. And also phosphorus, I think, is antagonistic to magnesium, maybe, or something. Yeah, some elements work one against the other. The point is, I've heard also about zinc, the ZMA. You have to drink it on an empty stomach, you know, otherwise it doesn't work. It's getting really, really complicated in this way. And for Anavite from Gaspari and Animal Pack from Universal, you know, if this is the truth, then they don't work. And I don't think could be a fact, could be a chance. You know, they're all-time classic supplements. But in some cases, it does. So when anemic people come to my office, I tell them take vitamin C with iron first thing in the morning before you drink coffee, because coffee diuretes this, and also do not combine with dairy products because of the calcium, you know.
Gotcha.
So I don't want to say, I mean, that they don't take this, take the other, but it's a fact that some elements need special occasion in order to be absorbed.
Yeah.
So, for instance, ZMA and zinc has to be on an empty stomach. Now, if you take casein before bed and you take ZMA, hypothetically, it's not going to work.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. So you have to sort of choose which one because you want to take the
And
casein
personally,
before you
I
go to bed.
prefer to take each element separately. I know this is high of cost, you know, but during the COVID, for instance,
Yeah.
I used to take extra zinc, 50 milligrams, you know, because it's very important for the immune system,
Right.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah. The calcium magnesium thing puzzles me because there are a lot of supplements that are calcium and magnesium together. So
Magnesium also, I take it extra before bed to relax my muscles and sleep better, you know.
gotcha. Okay. Another supplement question for you, doctor. Can high doses of alpha lipoic acid or other GDAs cause insulin resistance after stopping usage? Is it safe to take for a prolonged time, like half a year nonstop at 1,500 milligrams?
Now, this guy has to understand that insulin resistance is the result of hyperglycemia. Lipoic acid is responsible for hypoglycemia because it mimics. So, first, it does not elevate blood sugar, and it lowers blood sugar, hypothetically. That's why we take it with every meal in order to enhance this process when we don't eat carbs. And also the fact that it's an insulin mimicker, it gives a break to the pancreas and rest, you know. So it doesn't lead to any insulin resistance. No. On the other hand, it's helpful to reverse. That's why diabetics and endocrinologists, some open-minded endocrinologists, give lipoic acid and chromium to diabetics, you know, also to help this process of working for the insulin sensitivity.
Gotcha.
So actually, it's the opposite of what he asks.
Okay.
There's no fear about it.
Now, here's a good question because I think a lot of us, anyone who's ever had an infection and been prescribed some sort of antibiotic has often wondered about, should I stop my gear and all this? So this guy says, if I have an infection, my doctor says I should take antibiotics like Augmentin for 12 days. Should I stop training and stop all the supplements and TRT until I finish the antibiotics, or should I use both at the same time?
Now, usually when we have an infection, you know, inflammation, infection, we're not ready to either to eat, to follow our nutritional plan, or especially to train heavily, you know. So perhaps we take a break 1 week from the gym, you know. So we keep on with the medication. Otherwise, if we don't have any problem with that. For instance, if you take an antibiotics for your tooth, you know, you have an infection in your oral cavity, and you still can train and perhaps you can eat liquid calories, you know, then go ahead. Now, some antibiotics are stressful for the kidneys, you know. So if you take Trembolone, it's not a good idea. But if you are on replacement therapy, testosterone replacement therapy, I don't think it's a problem because testosterone is not toxic generally in such doses and generally as a drug to the system.
I mean, if you're on TRT, you basically should always take your TRT. I don't hear of any circumstances where you're supposed to stop.
Missing a dose or two, it won't matter. You know, perhaps your levels will drop a little bit, but there's no major impact, you know, of testosterone along with. Now, steroids are another story. You know, steroids are more toxic.
Yeah. So if you're on antibiotics for 12 days, you might want to back off on your Tren and your deca and your all that stuff, your Winstrol. Stick to your TRT.
Make sure you take probiotics because you're gonna flash diarrhea, you know.
Right. Yeah. The problem with the antibiotics is they kill all the bacteria,
Yes,
the good
exactly.
and the bad. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Regarding the question about appetite, this isn't a question. I guess he's just giving us a helpful hint for all the other viewers. An antihistamine called Periactin in the UK. It's good.
I have no idea about this, you know.
I heard about this years ago. So it's an antihistamine, but it has the effect. It makes you drowsy, but half a tablet to start wakes you up starving, which is a side effect, but good to help you get.
I know antihistaminic drugs makes you like this, and some people take them for the sake of insomnia, you know, in order to get better into the process of sleep, you know. So in the warnings, they say, do not drive after you take an antihistaminic drug, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, the biggest trade name here, it's over the counter, called Benadryl. It's an a lot of people take Benadryl, and a lot, some,
So
I know a lot.
if a bee stings you, you know,
Yeah.
if you're struck by a bee, then you have to take antihistamines, you know, and then take a nap perhaps.
Yeah. Some people will give Benadryl to their children, so their children will go to sleep. It's probably not bad parenting, but, you know, I just had to throw that out there. Doc, what part of your body do you administer HCG?
It's around the umbilicus, you know.
Okay, so right anywhere around your belly.
Yeah.
Same as GH, right? Just boop, boop,
Yeah,
boop.
my stomach.
Okay. Hey, Doc, I took a cabergoline pill while not on steroids, so I probably crushed down my prolactin levels. Could this be causing my burning mouth syndrome and dizziness, loss of balance? How can I fix this?
Well, it's among the side effects, the dry mouth. You know, it's called cleostomia in Greek. So, why to take a cabergoline unless, I mean, you cannot ejaculate because of a high prolactin?
Yeah.
Then why to take? But anyway, then it will catch up according to the lifestyle. If you are stressful and insomnia, it will elevate again. You know.
Mm.
Of course, if you smoke some weed also, but about the side effect, I mean, you have to hydrate more and eat chewing gum because it produces saliva. You know.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, drink a lot of water, guys. I mean, anybody that smokes marijuana, not that I would know, of course, dry mouth, very, very common. So just keep some water handy, guys. Last question.
Yes.
Last question is about insulin. What is the best insulin for bodybuilding? Fast acting or long acting? And what is the best dose for muscle growth while retaining a small waist and to not grow a bubble gut?
Well, personally, I've said that many times. If I prefer pre or post, I prefer post because of the insulin sensitivity.
Yeah.
And that also occurs during the breakfast before an empty stomach, you know. Of course, pre-workout will give you a tremendous pump, you know.
Yeah.
But post-workout is also very important for the nourishment, you know, and the elevation of mTOR, and the post-workout nutrition is perhaps the most important, the most critical part of the day. Now, my protocol in my book, it's very conservative. Is for 100 kilogram guy, it's 10 units with 100 grams of carbs, 50 complex and 50 hyperglycemic simple carbs, you know.
Yeah.
And do not inject insulin into the midsection, you know. Inject it perhaps to the muscle group you have trained, delts, quads, you know.
Yeah. Okay.
You know that diabetic patients, type 1, that are insulin dependent, they develop lumps of fat where they inject. So this is the spot fat storage, you know, that it occurs.
Yeah.
It's the opposite of the GH. So it does subcutaneous fat growth, you know.
Wow. So if you keep putting it in the same spot, you're going to have little lumps of fat eventually?
Yes.
So rotate. I have a question for you, Doc. You know, men's physique guys have tiny, tiny waists. Tiny. Yeah, I was just looking at them when I was at the Tampa Pro the weekend before this. They have big, round, full muscles in the chest, back, shoulders, arms, but their waists are tiny.
I believe that they never use insulin. They perform vacuum exercises also.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Do you think they use insulin? I've never asked them, honestly, any of these guys.
They don't have to, because it's the weight class that prevent. I mean, when you have a certain body weight, you have to be. It's a stupid idea to grow even, you know.
Well, that's classic. I'm talking about men's physique. They have no weight. They have no weight class to make, but you know, they're not supposed to be huge like a bodybuilder. Some of them are
the
getting.
men's physique, you call. Yes. Also, they are not allowed to be super huge. You know, it's an aesthetic. You know, so they don't have to use insulin. I don't think it's stupid to use insulin. Then you have to go to another class.
Yeah.
Bro,
So, I mean, if this guy wants to know what's a dose of insulin so he doesn't get a
I
bigger
don't know
gut.
his body weight, but it's 1/10 of his body weight in units,
Okay, so
and the same body weight in grams of carbs.
if he's 200 pounds, 20 IUs of insulin and
So
20.
nine IUs of insulin, 9 IUs. He's 90 kilograms. 200 pounds is 91 kilograms.
Oh, you're going by kilograms. See, I doubled this guy's poor dose. Jeez, this is why I'm not a good drug guru, guys. This is.
And do not eat junk with insulin. Huh?
Gotcha. Okay, doctor. That is all the questions we have for you. Our next episode is special. You have prepared a PED quiz
Yes.
to test people's knowledge on a lot
They
of
have
the very.
to pass 10 out of the 15 questions. I'll examine them.
Hey, you know what?
If they fail,
You can't use drugs. You're not allowed to use drugs until you get at least 90%
yes,
correct.
that's good. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, how are we going to enforce that? Yeah, you can't use drugs. You're not ready yet. You don't know a damn thing. Actually, that's not a bad idea. There should be some kind of test. You have to take a test to be able to drive a car.
I said that to Thomas, and he likes the idea of a quiz.
Yeah. Cool.
You have to pass the semester to get jacked.
Yeah. Well, guys, we're not going to make you. We're not going to hold you to it, but it is going to be very informative. You can test your knowledge, see how much you really know about these things.
Read my column this month because it's the most extensive, about steroids. 4 pages of injectable profiles, of oral profiles.
Oof, man, that's right. That's in the issue with Terrence Ruffin on the cover that's out now.
Yes.
September issue of MD. Yeah.
No, September, August.
It's August. Yeah.
It runs now. Yes.
Yeah, we're in August, so the August issue should be the one that's out. You're right.
You got it. You have it done.
I do. Who's on? Ruffin's on the cover. Terrence Ruffin, the Man of Steel. Yeah. So guys,
let's think about a little bit of Heath. What do you think? He's gonna do number 8. Personally, I believe that Brandon Curry has a better V-taper. Now, Phil Heath, the disadvantage about him that if you pass the age over 40, you miss that mindset if you step away from the shows. Now, listen, Jay Cutler managed to do the repeat, but he never retired. Until 2012. He retired for 1 year. He took off, and then he came back at 40. It was 6th.
Yeah.
So Jay said that you lose this mindset of preparation. Of course, he had enough time in order to fix his, not just Henry, about the organomegaly. We've said that many times. So it's a big question about how his midsection is going to look like. But I think Curry has nothing to fear on top. Of course, on the leg department, Phil Heath is very advanced.
Yeah, Phil's got great legs.
And I believe he was better than Rodden to the rear and some other poses like the muscular or the side chest. It was just the midsection that made him to lose the number 8.
Yeah. Now, if Phil comes back looking the way he did before he started having midsection problems, what do you think?
For that, he needs to drop at least 10 pounds, at least.
Yeah.
So
he was getting too big toward the end, don't you think? A little bit too big?
Yes. He was 255, I think.
Yeah.
So at 235, 240 the most, he was amazing until 2015. I don't know.
Yeah. The first year he came out
235.
The year before he won the first title, when he took second to Jay, I think it was 2010, where a lot of people thought he should have beat Jay.
In 211, he was 235. It was amazing.
Yeah, he looked damn near perfect.
3-dimensional, yeah.
We would have liked wider clavicles, but damn, doesn't matter. He packed on so much round, full muscle to his delts.
Nevertheless, I believe that he's a big attraction for the Olympic, and for Jake Good, and I believe that it's going to be a sold out due to Phil Heath. I bet it.
Yeah, we needed this. We needed this for the Olympia. Really needed.
And I bet Curry will be really more improved than the Arnold Classic and the Olympia. This is a motive for the reigning Mr. Olympia to improve also. Because in order to take the chandler, you have to be better, So Phil Heath has to do a comeback and be at his best. Even better than 2017 in terms of, condition was supreme. Mass, no, but he has to have the
And I'm very excited. I'm glad he's coming back. I really was worried he was retired. I didn't think he was coming back. I was starting to think we're never going to see Phil again on stage.
Do you know anything about Rami? He will compete?
He's not qualified right now unless he gets a special invite. And I don't know if he can even travel right now. Right now, nobody can travel into the U.S. except for Canadians and Mexicans, I think.
So Diasha, Nathan Diasha?
No Hadi Chupan, no Rami, no William Bonac, you know.
Oh, damn.
All the
Damn, I had Bonac for top 3.
Yeah, he's great. I mean, I'd be very upset if we couldn't get the best, all the best guys. And we need Europe to be able to travel. We need Middle East to be able to travel. So
well, let's hope until December that we'll open the borders.
Yeah, I mean, supposedly everything's going to change after the U.S. presidential election.
Otherwise, it's going to be. What about Flex Lewis?
Well, he lives here, so he's fine.
All right.
Yeah, he lives in Florida. He's okay. Yeah, he's definitely top 5. Definitely. I mean, a lot of people say maybe he could beat Phil Heath. Who knows?
I believe Hadi Choopan can beat Phil Flex.
We'll see.
In thighs, in conditioning, Flex has better arms and calves, but the quads and the lat spread of Hadi is unbelievable.
Hadi's got some of the best legs I've ever seen, ever.
And the lat spread was amazing.
Yeah, he's wider than he is tall. He's a tank. Anyway, all right, doctor. Remember, everybody, Tuesday is Dr. T Tuesdays on musculardevelopment.com and on the Muscular Development YouTube channel. That's when we post these videos and the new article by the doctor on musculardevelopment.com. What's the article for today, doctor?
It's training different muscle groups.
Okay, see, guys, not all about drugs. You got to know how to train too, guys. It all works together. You need to do everything correctly. And like I said, next show, guys, get excited. We're gonna have a great quiz for you. Test your knowledge on all this stuff. See how much you really know. That's it, guys. Appreciate you taking the time, doctor. Yeah, it's been a crazy.
Number 76.
76. Is this 76?
75 today. 75.
75. Yeah. That's a lot. I mean, there's only 52 weeks in a year, right? Yeah. So
yeah,
we're going on a year and a half. Cool. Yeah. Thanks, doctor. Appreciate your information, your knowledge, your expertise. These guys around the world. If you have questions, guys, please leave them in the comments under here. Try not to make them too long. Try to get to the point. That way we can get some more questions and help more people, which is what we're here for. We're here to help you guys, give you the knowledge and that you can't get anywhere else, really. So thanks, guys, for watching. Ask Dr. Testosterone, Dr. George Touliatos, and we'll see you next time.